Dear learners, we are in the 11th week, module 11 of our marketing course, Art and Science of Marketing from Basics to Breakthrough. In this week, we are discussing the organization and control. How to have the marketing organizational structure and how it can be controlled so as to achieve what we want to achieve. So the first lecture was related with the basics of marketing organization. Now the second lecture is going to deal with organizing the marketing department. So in the first one we covered a broad aspects of marketing organization. Now we need to focus on certain issues related with the department or the departmentalization in any organization. I, Dr. Asutosh Mohan, Associate Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University, would like to start with the session objective, and we are having two specific session objectives. The first one is to understand the various way of marketing departments can be structured, and the second one we try to evaluate some case-based example to understand the marketing department models. So let's start the session not only with the session objective. Now let's decide why organization matters in marketing. There are certain reasons for organization to think about the execution of marketing strategies. So when we talk about why organization matters in marketing, definitely it starts with the defining accountability and focus area. It means deciding who is going to do what, deciding how it is going to be performed. It also enables the alignment with business goals, because if your organizational structure or the functioning of organization is not linked with the mission, vision, goals and objective of organization, it may lead towards a problematic situation. It drives efficiency, innovation and campaign consistency, because nowadays when the touch points are increasing, the different types of campaigns are launched and personalized as per the market segment, as per the media, as per the market requirement. If the consistency in those particular communication will lack, it will create a kind of confusion at the marketplace. So consistency, the consistency of your efforts, the standardization of your different tasks is also a necessity, and which goes well with the organization if it is formulated in a specific manner. Now key roles in a modern marketing department. What kind of key roles we are finding in modern marketing department? We are obviously having one position, the topmost position of Chief Marketing Officer, that is CMO. And many of you might be dreaming to occupy this topmost position in any organization. And my good wishes are always with you, the learners who are trying to be a professional marketer. Beside that, we have the different possibilities in organizational setup related with the marketing task. So there are possibility of having the brand managers. We may have digital marketing manager, because digital marketing is capturing the center place, and if it is at center place, we need to have expert to handle all those particular requirements of digital world, and that is why digital marketing managers are becoming quite popular in across the organizations. We have the content strategist, CRM and retention specialist, who are actually taking care of building relationships with the customers and long-term relationship to get the maximum returns. The performance marketing analyst, that is what we are talking in terms of the job roles related with the data analyst or data analytics or whatever the big data, metadata we are talking about, how actually it is going to help the marketer that is required a specific skilled kind of or a specialized skilled kind of requirement, and that is again part and parcel of marketing department and marketing technologists who are making all these particular things possible in this digital era or even in a normal requirements of the marketplace. Now we are having the agile marketing teams. That's what we covered in last lecture, where we talked about the squads, the tribes and community. Now this agile marketing team is actually a cross-functional pods. For example, HDFC Bank uses the content performance pods to optimize the campaign across the region. Why? Because HDFC is serving a similar kind of requirement across the region. So if you are having a communication pods where the certain kind of communication, the content or whatever the mechanism, the design, the delivery, whatever you opted, those pods, the specialized kind of skill set with different set of specialized individuals working together and creating a unified delivery of message across the channels. Now there are two possibilities which many of the organizations are juggling for, because there are two possibilities: either you have a centralized control mechanism or you may have a decentralized control mechanism. Now centralized control mechanism and decentralized control mechanism may again have their own pros and cons. Let's see what are the different characteristics or what are the different features related with these two possibilities. Now in case of decision making, the first feature, in case of centralized, it is top down. It means authority will dictate what you have to do and bottom will follow the same. In case of decentralized, the lower level or lower level organizational structure will have certain set of autonomy and they will work as per the requirement of the market. Second factor is speed. In case of centralized, as the flow is from top to bottom, it will take time. So in case of speed, it's moderate in centralized, but it's high, because whatever the local level or the lower level of organizational staff is perceiving the requirement, they have sufficient set of autonomy to decide, and they react, not to say react, they respond swiftly and quickly, rather than wait for the orders to flow from the top, where they are communicating the things happening at the market to top, and then top decide what to do and then communicate back to you. It will take certain amount of time. So in case of centralization, the speed is moderate, whereas in case of decentralization, it is bound to be high, because responses are quick. You have the certain set of autonomy to respond as per the situation. Brand consistency. Brand consistency will be high in case of centralization, because you are controlling the entire affair from one place, and that is actually creating a situation of consistency in your ordering. Whereas if you decentralize, and suppose your decentralized structure is giving sufficient amount of autonomy to the employees, and they keep on responding as per the market requirement, but those responses may deviate in certain manner from a unified response, which might be a possibility from centralized response rather than from decentralized response. So in case of brand consistency, it's a strong in centralized and it's a variable in decentralized. And the last one, if we talk in terms of example, The centralized, we have the example of HUL, Hindustan Unilever Limited. Decentralized, we are having the Flipkart regional marketing hubs who are working as per the requirement of the market. Some more real cases we have to have explored to find out the possibilities of real world execution of departments that too related with the marketing. For example, Tata Motors. They are working with the product based marketing. They have the different segments, say for EV, SUV, commercial. So different segment, different product, a kind of matrix structure which to whom with they are working, and they are working beautifully. Hindustan Unilever, they have very centralized brand team with regional activation heads. So again they are having the region specific heads who understand the market matrix more minutely, and then there are the brand experts related with one group of brand or one single brand who understand the brand's requirement and then try to match these two expertise to serve at market in a better manner. Netflix, they have localized team for content promotion across linguistic clusters. That's what that's what the Netflix is doing in Indian condition, where we are having such a big linguistic diversity, such a big change in taste when we move from one state to another state, one region to another region. That is why they are having the localized team to understand the requirement, not only in terms of the requirement of content, but how to deliver it in a most beautiful manner. This is what the different structures. I just give you a glimpse, and you will find lot many structures are possible as per the requirement of market. So what are going to be the summary of the session? Remember one thing, whatever the structure we covered in our last two sessions, this session and last session, it's not a complete picture which I am giving to you. Remember, no one size fits all model for organization. So every organization is having their own distinctive set of requirement. Every organization is working with different set of forces, different set of requirement, and accordingly they design the organization to serve in a best possible manner. Remember, aligning team structure with marketing goal, that is necessity. Otherwise, if you are not following what you plan, you may have a misguided efforts which might not fetch you the desired results. Flexibility and clarity of roles are essential for productivity. That's a very crucial element. If there are certain confusions in terms of job profiles, in terms of understanding the specific job role by the individual employee, and suppose the structure is very rigid where there is no flexibility to respond as per the requirement, in those particular scenario, when confusion in the mind of employee and rigidity in the structure may lead to a disastrous situation where responses will be very weak, and you cannot work with those weak responses. That is why the flexibility and clarity of job roles to individual is a requirement, a necessity in this dynamic era where lots of changes are going on day-to-day basis. So if you have further interest, we can go with the session assignment. You have to choose a company, little hard task, but you just try to do it. You will enjoy. Choose a company and draw an ideal structure for their marketing department. Even though at this stage, as a learner, you may not have an idea what's an ideal structure is. When I am saying the agility and flexibility is the norm, and still I am talking about the ideal structure. But just try to find out, can you justify the role and how they support the brand mission? I gave the example of different, say, Spotify. I gave the example of different other organization, Tata, the HUL, just try to find in a similar manner, just try to concentrate on one of the startup, maybe a unicorn, and try to find out. Try to find out the answer which I posed at the end of the session. If you have any further interest, just read the report of Deloitte Insights, that is reimagining the marketing organization. That will capture, or that is actually capturing the changes the organizations are adapting and how beautifully this can be performed to win at the marketplace. So thanks for your time and energy. We covered the different dimensions related with organizational structure and departmentalization. In next component of week 11, module 11, we try to cover the marketing control process and the different key performance indicators. So thanks for your time and attention again. Happy learning and happy living.